sector thinks about doing
Right.
has to ultimately feed a top or a bottom line in business. So the reason we have government there is to say, wait a minute, we need to make sure that we're not just doing things that allow businesses to be profitable, but we're doing things that add to public safety, that add to quality of life, that define the character of our communities, and really the well-rounded civic discussion. So, you know, that is an important component. One is to set up an infrastructure that can make business successful, but the other is to make sure we're doing it in ways that are consistent with our long-term goals.
So for our communities, there are many different measurements by which we measure our return on our investment.
Sure.
Not just
Take the
dollars in the bank.
post office. I mean, if the post office was just privatized, if you lived in a rural area, you wouldn't get your mail delivered. It's the same with broadband.
Yeah.
We know that we can't necessarily be profitable with every lateral, as we call them, but we know that part of what we need to do in the public policy is make that available to as many people as possible, without regard to every wire being profitable.
Right.
And that's the relationship, in this case, between the private and the public sector.
Well, thank you very much. I know that you have just a short window of time, and I really appreciate you sharing some of your thoughts on Chairman Wheeler's way of looking at broadband and economic and community intersection. And again, your very unique view, wearing both hats, really brings a special added lens to this. So thank you very much for your time.
I appreciate it, Teresa. Thanks for the great work.
Thanks.
Keep it up. Thank you.
And that's where we stand today, here and in many other places. And we're all starting to understand that these networks mean we can compete in the world, and that we need them for all types of business and commerce and indeed human activities in the 21st century. And that, most importantly, we need to get better at building them and running them and making them accessible to people and businesses everywhere.